I'm Dr. Mel, and welcome to a very special episode of Dr. Mel's Message. And I say that because I've recently found out a fabulous, fabulous idea. It's one of those that I wish I would have thought of, and I can't wait for you to learn all about what this one is about, especially if you're a football fan, and all my followers know I'm an NFL nut. So that's why I'm excited about this. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Mo to you, and we're going to talk about what's going on behind the scenes with him. Welcome. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. What a beautiful introduction. Thank you
Oh,
for hosting me. An honor to be on your show.
well, thank you so much. I tell you what, there's nothing more that I love. My pastime, I guess, my hobbies and the things that I do with my husband is going to the New Orleans Saints games. We live in New Orleans. And when I say we've been season ticket holders since the late 80s, that's not an underestimate. So I love football. And I cannot believe what you have come up with. And like I said in the introduction, I wish I would have thought about it. So without further ado, let's tell them what's going on with you and what fabulous idea you have created and how you're going to get it funded. So go ahead and let's start with it.
Amazing. I'm excited to tell you our story.
Yes.
Uh, to start off our story, a lot of people think of innovation that to bring something like to bring something that never been exist. But my philosophy is different. Innovation is to hunt a problem and turn it into solution. As a diehard football fan, as someone who watches football like round the clock experience, we meet with my friends before the match. We talk about the insights and who's gonna win and prediction. And during the match, our emotions rise up. We stand up on our feet. We cheer, and sometimes we cry and we fight. And after the match, we communicate our emotions, whether it's a victory or a defeat, and we tease each other. If you notice that all these phases before, during, and after, it's all about people's emotion. Football is all about people, it's all about fans. Football without fans, it's just a shadow. And then we decided, like, we thought about creating a new platform which brings people together who speak the language of football, where they can communicate these emotions that can range from tears of happiness to tears of sadness. And through our research and customer discovery, we were like ins- impressed and shocked that there is no one single social platform for 3.5 billion fans around the world. They are half of the world population. And their engagement is 3 times higher than any other industry because they are commanded by love, by loyalty to their team. And we thought of creating a new era for fans, and that's why our company is called Fanera, to create a new era for fans, regardless their differences, where they are, what language they speak, as long as they are on Fanera, they can connect with other fans around the world who share the same passion for football. They can engage, like, comment on a fan generated content, and finally they can publish their own content. And our vision is to shift audience from content consumer to content creator. And this is the world we are living in. Social media platforms are giving us a voice to amplify our voices and to like to let our stories to be watched by other who share common qualities and standards.
All right. That is fabulous, but I want to clear up one thing for everyone out here, for not just me, but for everybody that's going to see this. When you say football, are you referring to soccer with the round ball? Or are you talking the American football where we have the oblong and we throw it? Or both?
Currently, I'm referring to the most popular, invested, and historical sport, which is soccer. I know you guys call American football as football, but like the good news, we are currently working on football as our focus to validate ourselves, to prove our, let's say, business model. But after the World Cup, we are going to scale vertically to other sports. And guess what? The second sport in our list is NFL.
Yay for me, yay for me, yay for
I know this is a great news for you.
it is fabulous news story. But don't underestimate this because soccer is huge in America too, by the way. So I didn't,
Sure, sure.
and as a matter of fact, I have 4 grandchildren that play our American soccer. So yeah, it's huge.
Ah,
Ah,
that's fantastic. They
yeah.
should be our next, they should join the club. They should use Fanera
Oh,
to talk about how their grandma is cheering for them, and they might come up with a challenge to challenge you to do some a freestyle on with the ball, and then become a football influencer on Fanera. And this is our, let's say, our message to our audience.
well, I'm in for that. If you don't know my grandkids, but let me tell you, they are competitive and they have sports in their blood, I should say. And oh, and they like challenging their grandmother. Trust me.
Lucky they.
So I have no problem with that. Now, like I said, this is an idea that I wish I would have thought of. And so kudos to you and your team. And I know that you think of yourself as an entrepreneur, but I think you're going to be more than that. I think you're going to be a media influencer with this first app and of course with the remainder. But there's a little bit of things that we've got to discuss because developing an app, number one, is expensive. Getting it out there and marketing it correctly is expensive. And so you have chosen to go on to what is called WeFunder to help launch this first app. And it's going to be TikTok, right? On TikTok.
It's gonna be the TikTok for football.
Right.
People now are crazy about the TikTok and how they show the right content to the right people. So we believe that we need to follow their steps by showing the right content for this segment who love football.
Oh, perfect. So let's talk a little bit about your investments, or if somebody's interested in really getting in on the ground level of Fanera, how do they find it? I mean, where do we go?
So basically, Fanera started after winning an award from a Challenge 22 program, which is hosted by the host of the World Cup 2022. So there we're looking for talented solution to be implemented in the World Cup, and Fanera was one of the winner who got a grant from Supreme Committee, the host of the World Cup in Qatar, happening in the Middle East. And this is our spark. And nowadays we have over 120,000 active users who are spending 30 minutes flipping through dozen of content of other fans generated content. After that, we raised a seed round investment to grow our fan base, to build our feature, and more importantly, to introduce new markets. And then we happened to learn about WeFunder. And during the pandemic, all angel investors, all investors, VCs, they are at home. So there's no more pitching live physically. And that's why there is a huge shift on the equity crowdfunding. And when I say equity crowdfunding, where this campaign gives people an opportunity to invest for shares, it's not a donation, It's investment. So, for example, if you're putting as a small ticket as $100 or $1,000, you're getting in return shares in this startups. So think about it. If the time return us back to 10 years when Facebook started, and we had a chance to
Oh,
put $1,000, we will become a multimillionaire by now. And
oh
this
yes,
is
you
the
would.
whole idea. Yeah, this is the whole idea of these platform. WeFunder is number one equity crowdfunding, which connects startups with individuals. So, for example, if we're raising 600K, we are expecting 1,000 investors. So instead of going to one resource of investment, you're letting smaller individuals to put their money and believing in your startup, and then collect your target. After that, you have already validated your story. When you are raising in the future, it will become easier since you have 600 people invested in you. And for the next round, they are going to tell their network about this crazy startup that they invested and market the idea. So this is why we are impressed and inspired with the idea of equity crowdfunding.
All right, now with first of all with Refunder, if you're interested in getting in an investment opportunity with this fabulous idea, you can go to wefunder.com / Fanera. Is that correct?
That's true. WeFunder.com/Fanera, Fanera. They can find us, and this is a scoop for you. Today we just hit $50,000 securing, and taken into consideration, we just launched a few days ago. So in a few
Wow.
days, we raised $50,000 out of the our target, which is the 600,000. So
Wow.
just to incentivize early investors, we are giving them 25% of the valuation of their investment before reaching $180,000.
So
So this is their right.
how are the payouts going to happen to these investors?
So basically, they check out our campaign. They click the button after reading all about, let's say, the pitch deck, the financial projection, the videos, everything legal about the company. Then they press invest, and it will take them 5 minutes to create a profile and use their, let's say, a bank wire transfer or credit card to submit their payment. After that, they will get some sort of certificate from WeFunder that proves their share, let's say, share exactly their right of these shares.
Now, with the minimum investment is $100, right?
Yes, that's true.
And that's just for one share or a half a share or five.
Okay, let me explain it that way. Our valuation in the early bid, it's $3.5 million. So spending, let's say, $1,000, you need to if you need to calculate the number of shares, so you calculate, you multiply, or you divide 1,000 over the total valuation. This is the simplest way, but we are investing in some form, what we call it convertible notes, where we give shares for future. So they get a certificate of their shares. The second round, they get 20% off. For example, if they're getting now 1,000 share, when we get an price round, they're getting 20% discount of the amount they invested. So it's a very, let's say, encouraging for investor. And this is how all startups in Silicon Valley work. So you bet on the future. I know they're taking risk, but not taking risk means that your money is on your bank account, and you're not enjoying these crazy opportunities around the world.
Right.
So we're saying that we're a risk taker and we're looking for other crazy people who would like to take risk with us.
Well, you hit it off early in this conversation when you said, had we had the chance to invest in Facebook, period, no more said there. What about if we could invested in Amazon? Again, no brainers. Look what happened to the Bitcoin currency market. If you got in early, look where you would be. So it's one of those things that, sure, there's going to be risk, but all investment has risk, but there's also the high potential of reward. Is that a fair statement?
100%. I would call it the opportunity cost. If you have money and you decide to invest or not to invest, the consequences will happen in the future. And again, like I know there's no guarantees on betting on startups, but it's all about understanding the right idea, the right team, the great market, and the potential. All these elements, these are, let's say, the signals to help you make your decision.
Well, I want to just take a quick pause right here because I want to show them the video that you have on Fanera. Okay.
Hello, my name is Ash, and I am the co-founder of Fanera, and my blood type is FC Barcelona. We're a social network that is laser-focused on people who love football. Think of us as a TikTok for 3.5 billion fans who want to express their views and overall love for the game, in an industry that attracts sponsors and advertisers valued at a whopping $40 billion annually. Football connects the world. From the triumphs to the tragic defeats, we all share these moments together. Tension, celebration, or regret.
We've all had unforgettable experiences watching our favorite football team, especially in the company of our friends and football lovers. Those matches become part of our memories forever. But what if you could have these football experiences anywhere, anytime, even if you were alone?
We know millions around the globe share the same love for football, and now we can connect with them directly, only on Fanera.
Download Fanera from App Store or Google Play and log in. And then you select your favorite teams. You are ready to share or to consume football-related content.
You have hundreds of social football experiences shared by your favorite football community, and also you can start sharing your own moments.
For example, on my team, Man United beats his Real Madrid, and I start getting this kind of information, stories, snaps, and other stuff. I feel like
it happens.
Come on, it's always
Fanera is also meant for football clubs. We have developed a powerful dashboard to manage, connect, and engage with their fan base, depending on their target demographic, while providing useful analytics to help monetize their followers. Fanera is celebrating the football fan through an app that is intuitive, multilingual, and scalable to a global level, creating the first social network for football fans and clubs worldwide. Fanera is proud to already have over 200,000 downloads, more than 70,000 fan-published content per month that results in over 3.5 million interactions monthly. From now until the World Cup, our focus will be on football, but our vision is to create a model that can be applied for all sports. You now have an opportunity to invest in the game-changing app that has the potential to be the leader in the $40 billion football industry. Help us in creating the #1 social platform dedicated to fans. Invest with us today.
Now you can see why I'm so excited about this app. It is, like it said, intuitive, and it just will connect us all. And I think in this time and age, what's going on across the world, I think it's great that we're bringing in so many cultures, so many languages, and all in one spot. How did y'all come up with this idea in the first place?
So yeah, these are my inspiration, and yeah, these are the, let's say, the fuel to keep putting energy and time, blood and sweat on Fanera. So back to your question, I was going out with the friends watching a football match, and after the match, this is our behavior. We go to Facebook and we start teasing each other. We post, and some of our friends go to other platforms like Instagram. Some others go to YouTube. And can you see like this distraction? And if you go to these platforms, since they are not meant for football, you will see hundreds or maybe thousands of topics, but not football, because football is another topic for these platforms. And that's why we were questioning and we were wondering why the hell there's no one platform for these crazy fans, where when you go to the feeds, all what you see is football. And when we say intuitive, meaning that we let our audience to select their favorite community in terms of favorite teams, invite their friends, invite the football influencers, and select their clubs. So think about it. If I have selected X and Y as my favorite teams, and then I select my friends who love football, and then I follow football influencers who I appreciate their insights. So all of them in one single platform where all content is 100% interesting for me. And this is what we mean by intuitive. Early this year, we started working on artificial intelligence, similar to these giant platforms. I would call it basic AI, where we track and record the behavior of a football fan on the app to understand what type of content, whether it's a meme, it's a highlight, it's an insight about the match, or it's a video from their friends. And accordingly, we will put more of these content that they engage and love.
Like I said, just absolutely incredible. But I do want you to add another sport to your list, and that's swimming. Okay. Swimming is huge worldwide. And I just happen to have two swimmers. So yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Can you do that for me?
I our vision is to become a social network for all fans, regardless the sport. But again, with focus comes innovation. We could not start with every single sport. We needed to understand one popular sport and then scale up to other sports. So we wanted to prove our narrative, our story, and we're 100% sure if it works for football, soccer, it will work for swimming, for rugby, for baseball, for NFL.
Right. And by the time you get this in place, like you said, the ground zero one, that's the upstart, there will be no need to reinvent the wheel.
You're absolutely right.
Yes.
We
And
have the model that can work for any other sport.
amazing. And there's several things that I love about you as an individual that, just interviewing you and watching you interact with your kids and your vision and your love for the sport. You just come across not only as likable, but somebody I could trust and investing with. So that's phenomenal. And of course, your kids are precious. So I'm glad I got a chance just to see them in and out at least, because kids are the future of our world. And if any kid out there finds this app, it's going to be a clean app. It's not going to be, it's family oriented, I should say.
Your statement just made my day. Like
No.
after a tough day, sleeping less hours, worrying about the future, uh, thinking about your family in case of failure, in case of any circumstances. We needed some sort of support. And I can disagree with you. People invest in people,
Yes.
because ideas can change, can pivot, but if people, if good people can, let's say, lift up bad ideas, and the great people can build up great products. So we believe that our team is great. We have over 70 years collective experiences, and all the three founders at least started two companies in their entrepreneurial journey, so they understand the cons, ups and downs of the journey working on a startup. Because I have to make this statement: working as entrepreneur is not a privilege. It's a hard working. It's sometimes it's a nightmare. And in order to succeed, you have to believe in yourself and your mission, and to work hard, and always try to find solution for your challenges, no room for complaints. And this is how I met you, Melissa. And I was searching for the greatest person who could take our story to the world, and I got connected with you.
Well, thank you for trusting me. And I can't wait for my viewership to get a hold of this, because honestly, I've never presented to my following, which is over what, 4.7 million in readership. I've never presented them an investment opportunity. So this is big, people. And if you really want to make a change and see how an upstart business is going, and invest before it gets big, like the Facebooks of the world, I highly recommend this. And go to wefunder.com/Fanera, and I'll have the link below this, right below the video, where you can just click and invest. So I'm going to try to make it easy on everybody. So Mo, thank you so much for coming on Dr. Mel's Message. You are just simply delight.
It's again, it's a privilege being with you. And hopefully one day, after in a 3-4 years, after becoming a very successful company, within my plan is to publish my book, to talk about the challenges that I have faced, and how the entrepreneurial and the circumstances pushes you to come up with a creative solution, regardless the resources around you needed to prove that I have something worth sharing. So thank you,
Yeah.
Melissa.
And you will be welcome to publish with my publishing company, Absolute Author Publishing House. In fact, I can't wait for that, because just talking to you, you have some really sound, sage advice, not just about your entrepreneurship, what you're doing, but life in general. Like my mom always told me, there is no such thing as a problem. They're all an opportunity to find a solution.
Well said, Melissa. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to meeting you in the future.
Awesome. I can't wait to. One day we all can travel and come together as one. And I don't care if you are yelling and cheering on the different team, because that doesn't matter. What matters is the fellowship of people and humanity coming together to celebrate.
Can't wait for that day.
All right. Thank you so much. Again, this has been another episode of Dr. Mel's Message.